Hello, my name is Nick and welcome to Watch This Now. Usually on Saturday, I refer to it as Shudder Day, so I look at the streaming service Shudder and I recommend a title to you. But it's not Saturday, but no one cares, so here's random Shudder review for whenever you end up watching it, whoever is watching it. Today I'm going to be talking about The Changeling, a horror story from 1980 that follows George C. Scott. He plays a composer who's been through tragedy. He lost his wife, his daughter, he's lost it all. So of course, what does he do? He buys a haunted house. So he moves into this old house that has some deep history, and wouldn't you know it, there are some bumps in the night. So yes, this is a classic ghostly haunted house story, and I have to admit that I am not the biggest supernatural horror fan. I would rather see someone with a knife stab a bunch of people, because that's just scarier to me. Ghosts, they're not that scary. They move your keys around, but they don't really do anything too crazy. However, in this movie, stuff gets crazy, I have to say. The stakes are high in this one. People die! Like, that's not normal for these types of films. But if you do like The Omen or the Amityville horror, I think that The Changeling happens to fit right in with those classic horror vibes. If that's what you're looking for, this is what you need to be watching on Shudder. I have to say that while the scares may seem typical at first, knocking here, banging there, once you learn why that banging is happening in this house, ooh, it adds some thematic depth to it that makes those simple scares become really eerie as it goes on. Now again, the story is really simple and a little bit boring, but I do have to say that I think for a film in 1980 that's very gray and dark, it is quite a beautiful looking film. The filmmaking behind this film is very solid. I think this was very well directed. It's quite well acted, particularly by George C. Scott, since he's pretty much the only character in the film. There is a woman who is helping him uncover the mystery of the house as it goes. Like I said, it's a little basic. They do the stuff where they look at the newspaper reels at the library or city, wherever, you know what I mean? They do the thing where they're reading the newspaper to find out who died in the damn house. But I think they do a good job of actually doing something different. Like, there are added layers to the story. Like, there's sort of that basic stuff with like the seance and that, but what they learn from those things ends up providing some really interesting information and an added level to the story that, again, just like those scares, it ends up making everything a lot more effective. I do have to say, I think you gotta watch like a good hour and a half of it, and then it gets good and it all comes together and you're like, whoa! So this one, you kind of gotta give it some time, you gotta let it sit, you gotta let it do its thing. But I have to say that I think you will be well rewarded if you stick it out and make it to the end of The Changeling, because it has a whopper of an ending. I mean, whew, like I said, stuff gets crazy. Stuff gets crazy. If you like films like The Exorcist, The Omen, the Amityville horror, and you haven't seen The Changeling, I highly recommend it. I'm giving The Changeling a 4 out of 5. I think it's really well done. It's practically perfect for what it is. It's just a little drab, a tad boring, a little bit much to get into. It's just not perfect. But you know what? It's still really damn good. And I have to say, as someone who wasn't into the entire thing at all, I ended up being sucked into it. I think it's worth a shot. It's worth a shot. So if you have Shudder, watch The Changeling. If you don't have Shudder, get Shudder. I love it. You want it. I think it's the one streaming service that I can think of that actually really cares about its customers. Like, I just think that Netflix, Amazon, whatever, they just kind of throw a bunch of shit at you and they're like, you'll watch it, right? Whereas Shudder, they know the horror audience wants a lot of specific stuff, and they get us some truly amazing gems like this horror classic. So I'm totally suggesting it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate every single view, every single comment, every single like, all of it. I really do. I'm so happy to be using this platform to connect to other great film and TV lovers. Thank you so much for hanging out in this space with me. Don't go away. If you haven't already subscribed, do that now, like this video, share it with your friends, and be on the lookout for all future reviews, because I keep saying it, we're heading into a new year. We've got a whole bunch of stuff coming. So this is your time to hit the comments and let me know what you want to see heading into 2020. Again, thank you so much, everyone who has subscribed recently, and I'm just so happy. You've helped me end this year on a really solid note. So thanks again, and I'll see you in my next video.